Hello everyone, today I'm going to tell you about a story about a battle of when Vietnam and China declared war to each other. As you can see I'm holding a flag about Vietnam, Vietnam. So I'm going to tell you a story about Vietnam War, but not about the Vietnam War between Vietnam and the USA, but the Sino-Vietnamese-Chinese War. Sino-Chinese-Vietnam War. The war between them from 1979. When Vietnam sent troops to defeat China, when the border fell many cities when the border with China. Let's begin with the stories. The story of Sino-Chinese-Vietnam War was declared in 1979 when in the south, Vietnam was declared war with Cambodia. That was Khmer, Red Khmer when 1979. Many troops from the north were sent to the south to defeat the Cambodia. Only one more troop was left in the north to protect. So the Chinese noted as some loss of soldiers to the border that they said they would defeat Vietnam. In the morning at Hanoi, afternoon at Hue, and evening at Saigon. They will invade They told to come to Hanoi in just 2 weeks. The people of Vietnam also noticed it, but many troops were in the south to defeat Cambodia. Only 80,000 troops were left in the north to control the border, and the Chinese left soldiers, but 200,000 soldiers to attack the 84,000 soldiers of the Vietnamese. This is too much more soldiers, you said, right? More than 100,000 or 200,000 Chinese soldiers attacked on Vietnam borders. Let's begin. I will tell you this story about Battle of Đồng ĐUN, or it's called the Battle of Lang Sơn. Let's begin. The Battle of Lang Sơn was known as very helpful for the Chinese to control the border with Lang Sơn. After going through Lang Sơn, they conquered through Bắc Giang and finally reached Hanoi. Is their plan, and also attack on Quảng Ninh, which is also close to the border. The Chinese said they would take Lang Sơn for just 2 weeks, or just 1 day. Or they would reach Đồng ĐUN just 1 day. The Chinese attacked on our side on many ways. At the fortress of Đồng ĐUN, only 128 soldiers were left behind of the Vietnamese troops to defend the fortress. Many strong defense that later was being captured from other cities and borders. The Lang Sơn noticed it and tried to defend the Chinese. The battle, one Vietnamese versus 27 Chinese soldiers. One Vietnamese soldier had to kill 27 Chinese troops to defend the Chinese. The Vietnamese troops wanted to battle with the Chinese. Their hearts wouldn't let them to raise their hands and defeat. They don't defeat. They wanted to believe. They don't want to believe. They want to defend the Chinese. The Chinese attacked on the fortress of Đồng ĐUN in 1979. At first, they fired artillery to Đồng ĐUN because Đồng ĐUN was easy to quit. Like the other borders, the Chinese fired their artillery to Đồng ĐUN, like the other cities. The Chinese soldiers started marching with lots of people, like beach people attack. It means so many people. Just 128 soldiers. The soldiers of Vietnam, no, they can't go out because they are circled. They are circled around the fortress. They know it, but they were still concerned about the battle. After the battle, the Vietnamese troops lost the first battle. Battle of Dong Dang. The Chinese attacked on Dong Dang for the town of Dong Dang. Also, the fortress of Dong Dang was next station they had to defeat, too great to Bắc Sang and great to Hanoi. They attacked on the fortress Dong Dang early, fire the artillery, then go with the soldiers and the tanks. They fired them very helpful. They know they will defeat the Vietnamese troops for just one day. It's very easy to defeat the Vietnam like that, but it was not easy to defeat it. The Vietnamese know that the Chinese was very good at taking very new soldiers. There are many troops that Vietnamese had to create. The Vietnamese soldiers fired at the Chinese. The Chinese told the Vietnam to raise their hands, but the respect was just the gunshot of the Vietnamese troops. When the Chinese attacked so fast that the Vietnamese troops couldn't eat food. Then someone said, "Brother, give me food." Rice and soup mixed together with sand, weathered with bullets. The Vietnamese troops fired artillery at the Chinese. The Chinese was very shocked at this. Then the Vietnamese started to lose their troops at Dong Dang. They go to the basement at 1, 2, 3 basement. The Chinese got into their territory to the fortress, entered Dong Dang fortress. They called the Vietnamese to raise their hands, but the Vietnamese couldn't. Don't raise their hands. Then the Chinese threw out the gunshot at the fortress, and then the basement shut down. Just 6 people was alive. Okay, that's the end of the story of Battle of Dong Dang and also Battle of Đồng ĐUN. Thank you for listening to the stories, and see you next time.